Welcome back to ZBCN Today, the channel where we cut through the noise and focus on what actually matters. This isn't about short-term hype, emotional price swings, or chasing green candles. Here we break down Zebec Network from a real-world perspective: adoption, infrastructure, institutional behavior, and the deeper structural shifts happening behind the scenes. If you're looking for calm, long-form analysis that connects fundamentals with market behavior and long-term conviction, you're in the right place. Let's get into today's breakdown. The discussion begins with a broader industry context, highlighting the ecosystem of established and emerging partners operating within this space. Participants referenced include Algorand, DTCC, Ripple, Stellar, Circle Digital Assets, and Paxos. Their involvement underscores the institutional and infrastructure-oriented direction of the sector. For those able to attend related events or initiatives in person, participation may offer additional first-hand insight, but the core relevance lies in the structural developments themselves rather than attendance. Everything you hear on ZBCN Today is for educational and informational purposes only. Nothing in this video should be considered financial advice, investment advice, or a recommendation to buy or sell any asset. Turning to project-specific updates, Zebec has announced a temporary pause in staking at stake.zebec.io as part of its transition to the Zebec Super App. During this period, all funds remain secure, and staking rewards will continue to be distributed according to schedule. Unstaking functionality remains fully available for any staking periods that conclude during the transition window. The upgrade process is expected to take approximately 1 week, after which staking services will resume. This pause aligns with previously communicated guidance indicating that the Super App rollout would occur by mid-February at the latest. The current transition phase represents a critical and technically complex step, suggesting a focus on stability and completeness before reactivation. The Zebec team's execution pace over recent months provides context for this timeline. The transition itself is widely understood to be one of the more demanding phases of deployment, requiring careful validation before completion. During this period, there is no impact on users who are not staking. Their status and access remain unchanged. In parallel, Zebec leadership has reiterated that chain expansion was planned and forthcoming. That commitment is now reflected in product interfaces showing multi-chain functionality. Within the application, users can view card balances, connect wallets, and select among supported networks. XRP is now visible alongside other chains such as Algorand, with further integrations anticipated. This expansion reinforces the project's stated roadmap and its emphasis on interoperability within payment and settlement infrastructure. From a performance and positioning standpoint, Zebec has demonstrated relative resilience compared with broader crypto markets. Its price action has held more consistently than many peers, and it was among the limited number of digital assets to register meaningful gains during 2025. Beyond market performance, the project's fundamental progress continues to be a central focus, particularly as attention shifts toward 2026. Broader developments across the digital asset landscape, including real-world regulatory and institutional signals, are also contributing to a more constructive environment for projects operating in compliant financial infrastructure. Within this context, a price level of approximately 35 cents remains a stated expectation, subject to prevailing market conditions. Expanding to the macro and regulatory backdrop, the United States has continued to move in a generally pro-crypto direction. Legislative activity at both federal and state levels throughout 2024 and 2025 has contributed to a more supportive fundamental environment. A newly proposed bill has drawn particular attention due to its potential implications for specific categories of digital assets. The bill is widely characterized as pro-crypto, especially for payment, payroll, settlement, and tokenized finance use cases. At its core, the legislation is not designed to broadly inflate all crypto assets. Instead, it seeks to separate tokens from securities, legalize regulated spot markets, allow banks to custody and transact digital assets, protect customer assets in bankruptcy, and support tokenization alongside compliant decentralized finance. The practical outcome of these measures is increased legal clarity for institutions. From a market perspective, long-term price appreciation is driven not by speculative enthusiasm, but by access to capital, liquidity, utility, and sustained demand. This framework primarily benefits infrastructure-focused assets rather than speculative tokens. Assets positioned to benefit share common characteristics: utility-first design, regulatory awareness, suitability for banking and enterprise use, and relevance to payments, settlement, and real-world asset flows. Examples discussed include XRP for cross-border settlement, HBAR for banking and enterprise rails, and XDC for trade finance and real-world assets. Zebec is positioned within this group through its focus on payroll, streaming payments, and card-based financial services. Relevant portions of the bill include provisions related to utility clarity, banking and payments, and customer asset protection. Payroll, in particular, represents recurring, operational demand rather than speculative activity, which is structurally significant. Within this framework, longer-term valuation targets in the range of 35 to 80 cents have been discussed, contingent on adoption and broader crypto market acceptance. From a market capitalization perspective, such levels are viewed as achievable if both Zebec-specific adoption and sector-wide growth materialize as anticipated. While other projects, including those focused on quantitative or algorithmic functions, also play defined roles within the ecosystem, the broader thesis emphasizes functional specialization. Each network contributes to a different layer of the financial system with varying degrees of systemic importance. Zebec's role is framed around the continuous flow of value through payroll and payments, which aligns with its core design objectives. In closing, recent commentary from within the community reflects strong conviction in Zebec's long-term positioning. This conviction is rooted not in content creation or short-term enthusiasm, but in the perceived utility, execution, and alignment with emerging regulatory and institutional frameworks. As of now, Zebec holds a ranking of approximately 140 out of 8,951 active cryptocurrencies, placing it within the upper tier of the market by relative positioning. How this trajectory develops through 2026 will depend on continued execution, adoption, and the broader evolution of the digital asset environment. If you're getting value from this kind of focused, fundamentals-driven Zebec content, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to ZBCN Today, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future updates. It directly supports the channel and helps this research-driven community grow. Drop your thoughts or questions in the comments. I read them all. Now, let's continue with the real analysis.